Oh,
did you hear that?
You want to know a funny thing about me? I can't burp.
What?
Yeah.
How come?
I haven't been able to burp. It's a weird. I have a condition. Literally, my wife makes fun of me and says I have a frog in my throat.
You hear that? You hear that? I told you, dude.
Welcome to the Spencer Whiteout podcast. Rated R.
Criminal charges, bro. Guess like we're avoiding the shark. Call it leather fetish, dude.
Yo, great turbo neck guy.
I'll give you a kiss. You give me your number.
That checked out a ton, dude. Tell me you felt.
We're Americans. We're the ones that are descendants from the 1776 musket-bearing motherfuckers.
Welcome to the Spencer Whiteout podcast, where we collect experiences as badges, memories as treasures, and stories as wealth. In this episode, Tanner and I talk all things dissident right-wing politics, our mutual love of the band Man, working together at BJ's, window wash Wang, and a deep dark secret. Let's dive in. All right, guys, welcome back to the Spencer Whiteout podcast. Today, who do we have on?
We got Tanner Duarte here.
Dude, so stoked to have you on, man. We got to start with how we met at BJ's.
We do. That's funny. I don't remember how the conversation got brought up, but something got brought up about, was it Mexicans? Or something? I don't remember. You're the one that remembers the story correctly. But
Okay.
you retell the story.
Okay,
My memory's all messed up.
Okay, so the way I remember it was you were one of the cool people. You know,
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I love chatting with you at work. You were super fun. And, you know, when you're in these mixed environments, you kind of have to prod a little bit to see where people are at. And I remember
100%.
you made some edgy jokes or something. And I remember saying to you, where are you from? And then you told me, oh, I'm from here.
Oh, that's
and
right.
And then I said, you seem like you're from a red state.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, I might as well be, or whatever. And
I'm from Kansas.
I was pretty much prodding and poking to see how you would respond, because a liberal would be like, oh, how dare you?
Yeah. How dare you?
How dare you?
Pull a Greta.
How dare you?
Yeah, you were all stoked about it, and I knew we were kind of cut from the same cloth. Another one I remember was somebody did something, and I remember being like, that's so gay. And I said that just super loud.
Probably on the food line.
Yeah, and you totally laughed at it, and you thought it was hilarious, and you kind of congratulated me for it.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking, oh, shoot, like, am I going to get fired for that? Because I've been fired for saying stuff like that should not be fireable, but whatever. People are snowflakes.
But you ended up saying, I remember later, that's when you text me like later that night or something, and you, like you said, you were kind of, at this point you had an idea or some sense of, all right, this guy's probably on the same page. And you said something like, hey man, like, you prefaced it in a way. It was like,
I said, this guy's a little out there.
Yeah, he's a little out there, but have you ever heard of Nick Fuentes?
Suck on that, Nick Fuentes.
And it's funny because I've done the same thing to my buddies when I've told my buddies about Nick.
Not everybody can handle the truth, bro.
And so when you had mentioned that, I was like, hell
and
yeah,
you
dude.
sent me a screenshot of how you already had his show on Cozy TV open in your Safari.
Yeah.
And you were
exactly.
like, dude.
I'm listening to his show right now, dude. Nick has gotten a lot more notoriety, and he's not so on the fringe as he was
when
years
we
ago.
knew about him, he was banned everywhere. The only place he was streaming was on Cozy TV, his own website.
And now that he's a lot more, I guess, widely accessible in terms of being, viewed online on Rumble,
Twitter,
back on Twitter, X. His clips are
spreading like wildfire.
Yeah, and it's crazy.
We did it. We won the argument. We beat censorship. We beat cancel culture. Our ideas are mainstream. We won the debate. We won the hearts and minds of millions of young men.
That's back when it was like to even utter his name would like get you canceled, you know?
Yeah, they would think, neo-Nazi.
Shut up, Nazi!
Far right extremism,
Holocaust
whatever.
denier.
Yeah, but so when did you start listening to him?
So it's the Streisand effect, right?
Yeah.
The mainstream media, obviously we know
I'll
it's
be
been
honest,
fake
I have no
news.
idea what that means. You have to elaborate.
The
Streisand.
mainstream media?
No, Streisand effect. I disagreed with you. I have no idea what that is.
Streisand effect is basically when you try to censor something, when you try to hide something from people, the more curious they get.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
We already know the mainstream media is totally fake news. It's total BS.
Yeah.
And
Fake news.
I don't know. It was basically when Ye went to Mar-a-Lago
right? Yeah.
for that dinner, and then all the headlines were like, Trump ate with a neo-Nazi.
Is that when you started listening to Nick?
Yeah,
Is
not
that what
because he
you're
was a neo-Nazi.
Oh, no. I'm saying no. I just
because-
meant like, is that like during that time frame is around when you started
That's
listening
what I'm
to
saying.
him?
Like,
Oh, okay.
I was curious because
Yeah.
I'm like, what the heck? It was like anytime you'd see this guy's name, it was all prefaced with neo-Nazi, Holocaust denier, white nationalist, Christian, bigot, homophobe, misogynist,
transphobe.
Yeah, all of them. And I
All
was
the
like,
above.
what the heck? Like, what?
Yeah.
This is very harsh. This is piquing my curiosity.
Yeah.
You know, like,
This guy's just like me.
Wow.
Check
But I
this
was
guy
like,
out.
I've never heard of a Holocaust denier. Like, what
Yeah.
even is that? You know?
Exactly.
So I do my own research and then I, go down the rabbit hole and I'm like interested to hear what this guy has to say because they're painting a picture of this person as like the most evil person in existence,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
And so I was like,
Hitler
oh,
reincarnate, or what did Alex Jones call him? Baby Hitler.
yeah.
Jay Fuentes holding baby Hitler.
Dude, we're starting off this pod with a bang here.
That's good stuff.
I started watching him. I started being like, oh, this guy's really intense, but like, I like his fiery energy. He really is an archetype of like the young, disaffected white man in America. And, he's Catholic, I'm Christian, I'm Protestant. So, there's some differences there, but ultimately I just liked his no BS approach.
Yeah.
I felt like he was speaking to an audience that's completely underserved, and so I liked what he had to say. I just think it's good to kind of get some different information from these different types of commentators. And like when somebody is so banned and censored, like I don't think censorship is right,
because it's the same people who are preaching about the quote unquote free marketplace of ideas. We have to be able to debate the subject and we have to be able to talk these ideas out. And, to the extent that people like Charlie Kirk or Ben Shapiro or Michael Knowles, a lot of the Daily Wire people, or even Fox News pundits, Tucker Carlson, Greg Gutfeld, Jesse Waters, all of them. I used to listen to all of those people like religiously, unfortunately. But yeah, it's, they will all claim free marketplace of ideas. As soon as you have someone
further to the right,
no, well, he's never going to be brought on. You basically just shut them out. They're shunned. They're canceled. Whatever you want to call it. Moral of the story is that person, that type of idea or that ideology is unacceptable, and everyone else but him is allowed to be engaged with.
Yeah,
So,
and that's why I fell away from supporting Charlie Kirk, was because I just saw him as a hypocrite who was like, oh, free marketplace of ideas, unless you're further to the right than me. Then I will act like you do not exist. Charlie Kirk, I will debate anyone. And he brags about that, yet he ignores anyone further to the right on him. I just hated that. And I think he was a good man. I think he was a net positive. I mean, he's a brother in Christ.
Of course.
We disagreed on many issues. And so it's a tragedy what happened to him. But I just hated how they treated Nick like such a pariah. And I felt that way in my own life in many capacities. Just being a little too edgy for the church or the Christian circles, but not finding my place in the world either because I am a Christian, or being a little bit extreme in my political views, and people just
emphasis on the air quotes around extremes because everything is declared as or is labeled as
extreme or controversial.
Exactly. If you don't fall into a normal standard Republican these days or a little bit conservative, even if you don't fall into that category and fit perfectly, you're labeled as extreme.
How they treat me is what they think of you.
Whether your ideas are more further to the right on, whether it be abortion or voting rights or immigration or gun rights, you name it, you're an extremist. And I happen to fall to the right of all of those things. So I don't really care. It is what it is. But it's interesting, which I know you've noticed, over the last several years, someone like Nick, his ideas, the mainstream right
adopted
Nick's talking points and ideas
to a degree
because they've seen which way the wind is blowing. A lot of people who, like myself and yourself included, have over the years drifted away because they've drifted away from the GOP or the Republican Party, whatever you want to call it. I'm embarrassed to even say that. I used to be like, oh, I'm a Republican. They stick with the Republican Party no matter what. But people like us and our friends drifted away from the standard GOP talking points and ideologies.
I'm an independent now because
exactly freaking backstab.
This is what you do to me.
Yeah. Do you have any idea how much I sacrificed? You know how much I sacrificed? I will never find myself voting for another Republican who tells me exactly what I want to hear because
And
I've
then
seen it too many times.
backstabs you.
Yeah, they backstab you.
They hate their own coalition.
It's like-
they can't wait for the white people to die off.
They,
you know,
they'll sit there and they'll pander so much to every other person under the sun, whether it's indigenous people, black people, Hispanics, women, whatever.
except their most loyal voters, because
Yeah.
they go, "What are you going to
They
do?
know.
Vote Democrat?"
Exactly.
They know.
They say, if the young white people, if the young conservatives don't vote, we're giving it to the Democrats. Let's start the conversation a different way. What are you going to do for us?
And so what Nick talks about is we need to implement a pain mechanism.
What can we do? Is
What
withhold our
can we
vote.
do is withhold our vote.
Yeah.
And so we can't keep rewarding these slimy politicians that stab us in the back.
Exactly.
You know, we have to punish them
Yeah.
and show that we're not on the hamster wheel. It's
Yeah.
not, oh, you need to either vote Republican or Democrat. What if we just don't vote? Then you'll never win an election. How about you start actually following through on your promises?
Yeah.
How about you actually serve your coalition?
Yeah.
Then maybe we'll vote for you.
Yeah, and that's to what you're saying is I completely agree because it's like when I talk to someone like my mom, and I'm sure you have people in your life too that
Yeah,
are
I've
on
been
the
talking
same
to your
page.
mom a lot too.
Betrayal.
She's told me. I'm well aware. No, but someone like my mom, or let's just say boomers for that matter, what are you going to do? Vote for a Democrat? And it's like, of course not. But at the same time, it's like what I try to say is at what point are we as voters going to finally draw the line in the sand and say, hey, enough is enough. Like what you were just saying, you depend on us. You want to ignore us. You want to pay lip service to everything that we want to hear while you're on the campaign trail. As soon as you're sworn in and you are a public official and whatever, a public servant, you will backtrack and completely backstab us on everything.
And their
in the
only
book.
motivation is keeping their
Yeah,
seat.
exactly. And then, but at the same time, they will sit there and tout. I hate to say it, but it's true. How many times has someone like Trump just touted his successes, and especially from 2016 to 2020, we have the lowest unemployment rate for Hispanics and blacks and women. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but has he even once mentioned the white working class, which is his solidified base? It's the solidified voting base for that matter. That is the one guaranteed voting block for Republicans is the white working class.
We just get screwed
Yeah,
left
we get
and
screwed.
right.
But what they need to do is acknowledge that we're still there. We're the ones who are continuously voting for you, and in my opinion, regrettably, because they don't deliver for us.
You're right.
It's just gotten to the point for me, in my opinion, where I think we agree. I'm not going to be voting for any other Republican unless they
Are the real deal.
Yeah, they're the real deal. And that's honestly, I unfortunately think it's going to be a while until I vote again because, like you, I just say I'm independent. I'm an American. I would like to consider myself a patriot, and that is what it is. You and I were just talking about. It's something that they have to earn. It's a privilege for them to earn our vote. They shouldn't just look at us as a guaranteed voting block no matter what because they have an R next to their name. It's bullshit in my opinion. And I am just jaded by the fact that we've seen, especially over this last Trump presidency, the amount of, and we can get into it, but the amount of backstabbings and backtrackings he's done in terms of things that he wants to do or actually put into policy, because he talks a big game, talks a great game. And some of it's just become tiresome at this point, but that's another conversation. But my point is I don't think I'm going to be voting for a while because we keep rewarding bad behavior, and that's what it comes down to. And I just don't agree with the idea of, well, you have to vote for them because they're better than the other. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of people who are better than Democrats. Most people are better. Most people actually are better than Democrats.
Shots fired.
It's honestly it's sad.
Yeah, and it's not
Yeah.
patriotic to be voting for people that are sellouts.
Yeah, exactly.
And that are going to sell out
It's
America.
your civic duty. It's your civic duty. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I know the Constitution up and inside and out. But I mean, I could probably do the Bill of Rights and then a few amendments outside of the first 10. There's just things that you should know as an American if you're going to be voting to put people in public office who are going
or
to
have
affect
some stake in it.
Yeah, you should have some stake in it. You should know the language. That's just first and foremost. You should know the English language and
Yeah,
understand
and
it.
at least Trump made English the official language of America.
Yeah, that was cool.
was nice.
Right next to
Celebrating Diwali and everything.
yeah. Oh my gosh, dude, with JD Vance's
horrible.
wife. What's her name?
Usha.
Usha. Oh, she's a nice woman. You said it.
No,
man.
no.
I don't even know anything about her, dude. She's just, it's not good optics, in my opinion, having a Indian wife. And I have Indian buddies, but it's like if you go to China or if you go to Africa or if you go to South America for that matter, and you try and run for public office or you try and vote there, they're going to look at you cross-eyed and be like, who are you? You gringo or you white man? Like they're just going to look at you sideways and be like, you have no stake here. you're on probably a traveling visa. You're on a working visa, whatever the case may be. You don't have a stake here. So no, you can forget that idea of representing. Yeah. Anyways, we're drifting. Next topic.
Yeah, next. No, what's funny too is I totally got in some hot water because of the Andrew Isker episode that I did. I did like a Zoom podcast with him.
Oh, no way.
I did a remote podcast with him.
Okay.
And I loved his book. His book was The Boniface Option, and the subtitle is A Christian Counteroffensive in a Post-Christian Nation.
Oh, wow.
And so it's very much Christian nationalist talking points. It's all about how do we integrate our faith and make a difference in society.
Yeah. If I knew how to read, I would read it.
Idiot.
But no, it actually sounds like a really interesting book.
It was an incredible book. It really helped shape a lot of my politics, a lot of my faith integration into politics.
Yeah.
And yeah, I definitely got into some hot water because a lot of people were like, oh my goodness, they listened to that episode.
Spencer.
And they were like, what? Because we were talking about whether it was a mistake to give women the right to vote.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, it was.
It was.
And
fact check, true.
all these people got way up in arms about it. And I'm just like, whatever, dude.
Are you serious? I'm dead serious.
I mean, if you look
There's
at
good reason for it.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's a man's responsibility, someone who has stake in the game, someone who's a Native American citizen. I don't even think classified.
that's not even controversial, but
People say you really need to take that back. You need to clarify what you meant. Why? I actually don't.
Well, anyway.
either way, yeah. Anyway. That's hilarious, dude. I love how you and I both caught on to that one weird thing that
Mannerism, yeah.
mannerism that Nick does all the time. Like in
So he's
between
like,
his
anyway.
he'll do like an hour-long rant,
And then he'll be
unscripted,
like,
and then he'll just stop and sigh
anyway.
and go, anyway.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah.
True or false? January 6th should be a national holiday.
True. 100% national holiday. I think it's true. It should be declared national holiday. It's the day that Patriots almost took over the Capitol, and it's the people's house.
House are getting their faces smashed against the door.
We almost took it over. I wasn't there. I played no role, but I was watching from a screen. I liked what I saw.
What's so funny is I totally posted on Facebook after it happened, like, oh yeah, this was not, I don't think this was right, but blah, 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 blah. And then later, like, I got reminded of it because Facebook memories. So like 1 year later, I saw that post and I was like, no, it was totally justified.
Yeah.
I deleted that. I kind of wish I was there, but
Yeah, I think it would have been awesome.
A little bit too
experience.
much smoke, though.
Yeah, I'm happy I wasn't there in the sense that, I mean, so many people have been just
Their
your
lives
average
destroyed
day,
for
your
it.
average day citizen. You hear all these stories about people who have been subpoenaed and indicted or whatever for walking or entering the Capitol or trespassing or whatever.
After they were being led in.
Yeah.
Can't calm down. I'm gonna be indicted. Indicted.
So
Such
I mean, the
bullshit.
only thing I would say that was bad was how they were getting into the clashes with law enforcement, but then obviously a cop shot. I think it was an Air Force veteran. It was a female, and she got too rowdy, but she didn't present any threat, and she got shot, and she ended up dying. And I think a couple Capitol police officers did end up dying after the fact. Anyway, point is, I think it was an interesting day, but I mean, when people like to smear it as, the darkest day,
An insurrection.
it's like, okay, get over yourself. The darkest day since the Holocaust or Pearl Harbor or the Vietnam War. It's like
Civil War.
Dude.
It's like, dude, that was a stolen, rigged election.
Yeah.
Everybody knew it.
Everybody knew it.
So what do you expect?
Yeah. So true.
Nice.
So back to BJ's. Tell
Yeah.
us about the injury you sustained at BJ's.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us that whole story.
I was working. I just went to the back kitchen or like the dish pit. And that's just for anyone who doesn't know what that is. I think most people probably do, but it's just where all the dishes are washed.
Yeah, thanks for clarifying.
It's I don't know. Some people are retarded. But, it's just very slippery back there, and
Even with non-slips.
yeah, even with non-slips, I went back there, slipped and fell on my ass, and on my way down, when I was falling, my left arm caught onto they have like those little ovens that they would put like the pork chops or the steaks or whatever in prime ribs. Part of the handle, the metal had been like pried outwards, like in a hook, and like in a weird hook. So like imagine that my arm, when I'm coming down, my arm caught onto the metal, and it just tore a big chunk out of my. I shouldn't say big, couple inches, but
It was a
but it was deep.
huge
Yeah,
chunk.
it was huge. It was huge. No, but it tore a little chunk out of my arm, and I remember just being like, "Oh shit!" Like I looked at my
Bigly.
arm. Yeah, and it was just kind of like looking at my arm. I could see the blood and whatever, but then I see the fat in my arm, and I'm like, that's pretty gross. But then I go
started bleeding like gnarly.
Yeah, it was bleeding.
Let me see.
And then so there it is right there. It's all healed up. It looks like people have said that it looks like a little shark or something bit me. But that's a cooler story. I should probably start telling people
chicks
that.
dig scars.
Yeah. Chicks dig scars. But it was funny enough, I ended up going and telling the manager, and then he's basically was like, okay, so like you're good? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he basically hinted or like implied like,
you're going to drive yourself to the hospital, right?
Type of thing. I remember thinking like, I guess I'm fine. I can do it. I don't really need an AMR, like I'm not disabled or my legs aren't effed up. But so yeah, I drove myself to the ER. Obviously they ended up covering it and paying for it, but I could have won some money on that. It's like my wife's dad and other people I've talked to, they've been like, why didn't you sue? I'm like, I should have. But yeah, but that'd be a good amount of money. I'm a big sellout for money, bro. If I see dollar signs, I'm all in.
You should be a politician, Tanner.
You ever heard of APAC? The reason, not that I would have done it anyways, because it really wasn't a big deal. What am I going to win? A couple grand. It is what it is.
And so much time and mental energy and going to court. It's just like, is that really worth it?
Yeah, but I remember the main thing though at the time, like I just established, I wouldn't have anyways. But the main thing at the time I was thinking was because I was in backgrounds for different agencies, and I remember they're obviously contacting your employer. I already had a hard enough time getting brought on.
With your sketchy background,
sketchy dark history. No, but
you're a bad boy. You're a little bit of a bad boy, Tanner.
I'm a little bad. I just didn't want my background investigator reaching out to my current employer, be like, oh yeah, so how's Tanner as an employee? Oh, actually,
he sued us.
He's actually currently suing us. Wouldn't have been a good look.
So we've just been free flowing. I do want to tell some funny stories. Okay.
Yeah.
So, because it's the Spencer Whiteout podcast after all.
That's what it's known for.
So I got another funny story. This one's from work. This is a recent one from window cleaning. And so we're cleaning this house, inside and out. And then I was on the roof and I was cleaning the windows and I was cleaning the bathroom window. And then I looked down and then there's a guy in the shower. Naked. In the shower, dude, while I'm like cleaning the window, and I'm like,
did you tap on the window and say hi?
Yeah, I said hola.
Yeah.
No, I skipped over that one pretty quick. And then,
so was this someone's house?
Yeah,
because you do residential, right? Okay.
Yeah. Next thing I know, my boss tells me the story. He's like, dude, you won't believe what just happened in there. So basically, my boss was like telling the wife, he's like, hey, I do need to get in there and clean that interior window, like whenever he's done in there, basically. Yeah. And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, like I'll go check. So she goes and checks and she's like, oh, like, honey, are you decent? Whatever. And he's like,
decent? That's such a boomer thing to say.
Yeah, are you decent? And then he's like, oh, he needs to clean the window? Sure, like send him in, Yeah. So she opens the door, Alex comes in, and then the guy is just in a towel. And then he's like, oh yeah, like, well, we're both guys here. Like, you know how this is. You've been to the gym before. You've done sports. Yeah. And then Alex is like, yeah, but we're not at the gym. We're not doing sports. And the woman is like,
honey, like this is our house.
And so the guy was just way too comfortable with his own body, and he was just inviting my boss in. And I just thought that was so funny that
body
was
positivity.
Was his reasoning. Like,
you've done sports before. You've been to the gym.
And it's like, yeah, this is our home. This is different. Like,
was he packing?
I don't know.
I bet he's packing. He's always swinging that thing around. It is what it is.
Ew, stop being gay.
Oh,
did you hear that?
You want to know a funny thing about me? I can't burp.
What?
Yeah.
How come?
I can't, dude.
It just all comes out the back end or what?
Primarily, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but dude, I can't burp and it sucks. And my wife gives me shit for it all the time. She always makes fun of me. I haven't been able to burp. It's I have a condition, literally. No, I'm not even joking because naturally all the carbonation or the air or whatever, it gets built up in my throat, and like my wife makes fun of me and says I have a frog in my throat. What other people do when they burp, like when I try to burp, it's like a you hear that? I told you, dude. And but I have a condition. It's escaping me what it's called, but it's fixable by getting plastic surgery in my throat. Yeah, no, it's painful. I'm talking after, especially I'm having a beer right now, but especially when I have a beer, but after I eat, anytime after I eat, I'm in pain almost. Like I feel super bloated, and just imagine not being able to burp, like the pain, the discomfort, because eventually, it all comes out the butt, but no pun intended, but until it does get released from the other end, I'm in pain, dude. And I can't tell you how many times I've been at work, especially now when I'm working, and I'm like, dude, I'm in pain. But so here's my secret. It's kind of embarrassing, but I have to do what I have to do. I'll have to like try and gag myself sometimes, but I'm not throwing up. I have to like finger blast my throat. It only takes a second, but I get all the air out of me. It's like, it's a way of me getting it out there. That's my deepest, darkest secret. I don't know why I'm airing that out. I'm airing out my own dirty laundry right now.
Bro. I love that.
My close friends know about it. And obviously my wife knows about it, but
You just got to finger bang your throat?
yeah, I do it at least once or twice a day.
Wow.
Like I said, it only takes a second, but it's like a loud, like, and like it comes out. And my wife, she never lets me hear the end of it because she's like, you need to get that fixed. Like, we're going to make sure you get plastic surgery eventually. And I'm like, I need it because I don't like the level of discomfort I'm in. It's painful.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
That's hilarious, dude. Thanks for sharing your deepest, darkest secret. I appreciate that.
That is probably one of my, it's not dark, but it is a deep secret.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind.
So anytime anyone who listens to this, they hear like a weird like croaking, just know that it's me. There's no frog in the room.
Except the groypers.
Noted. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating/review. 5 stars is a power play. Be sure to follow the show and keep up with me on social medias at Spencer Whiteout to stay up to date. As always, stay tuned, stay hyped. That's a wrap.
Inserting exclusive audio recording from the vault.
Go for it.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I gotta have the hat on.
Yeah. AF hat. Oh my gosh.
See? I'm not throwing up.
It's not a pretty sight.
Told you.
Wow. Make sure you wash your hands. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. No kidding.
And that's it.